on the recording, please? Okay, great. All right. Good morning. Cool. Cool.
Go
Hi,
back.
to
I
George
know.
Realty. Thank you for coming to the Monday meeting. I know that you got all guys are busy, and I'm appreciate that your attendance. And believe it or not, wow, today is almost the end of June. It's the second last day of June, and I can't believe it. It's almost half of the calendar is gone. Uh, I hope you're doing your job and doing making a lot of money and bringing a lot of business to you. Because this is the time to really rev up your engine and get some work done. But anyway, I thank those guys who came to our award ceremony. And last Friday we had a good time. We had about 24 people, and we went to the Array 36. A great lunch and great venue and great food and very nice. I appreciate that, and I think all of them have a good time. And congratulations again on those award recipients. But anyway, well, you know that the Fed stayed the interest rate a couple of weeks ago, and this is the fifth time I think this year that they're staying the interest rate. So I don't think they're going to reduce their interest rate anytime soon. But yet we cannot let that bother us, and we cannot let that slow us down. We have to keep going and hope for the best. And actually, there's some good news in the real estate market. The San Francisco single-family residents really hike up, and they breached their $2 million mark. Can you believe that our average home in San Francisco is selling for $2 million? I can't believe it. And we're crying here in Southern California for 1 million, and yet they're 2 million and up. And last month the price went over 5% again. So the market is still going strong, and also the buyer has a come some breathing room now because there are more the inventories, and the some of the condo units price is down a little bit, and so this is time for the buyers to negotiate and get some good prices. So hey, take advantage of the situation and really get some business going, okay? And I really mean it. Then summertime is the best time to do the real estate. Okay, and today we have the honor of Angie Tang to be our affiliate spotlight. She'll be talking about fraud, about the title tricks and stuff like that. And she always have good information for us. But before we have her talk to us, I would like to introduce the affiliates. Let's begin with John Wax. John,
Thank you, Pete.
morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody, it's summer. Summer is here. This is the hot time. Weather is hot. The market is hot. And get out there and work. Meet as many people as you can. If you're door knocking and it's hot right now, it's a great day because it's only going to be like around 80. The door knock, bring water with you, bring some great valuable information, whether it's marketing rates, whether it's how to improve your home. A lot of times they're not ready to get their home on the market, but they need some things done. So you're like a concierge for them. And go out and meet the people, talk to them, call them, talk to your sphere of influence, because this is the time to do it. A lot of people go on vacation, there's less competition, but if you do something, do it. The thing about it is doing it. The thing I wanted to talk about, all around the state, we are having wildfires. They pop up. It could be from the weather. In the deserts, a lot of times their lightning will strike and cause a fire. Usually they can get it out pretty quickly, but it does affect the the air and everything like that. But what I want to remind you, when you're looking at properties and you're looking to see if they're in a fire zone, use the hazard preview, find out. And you're door knocking, check out the house. See if there's a 5-foot zone 0 area between the house and 5 feet out, which is the amber resistant zone, because that's the first thing you're going to talk to them about, and making sure that property can be protected. And look on their roofs. Look how old it is. Look and see if there's any wooden decks. All these things can be combustible, and they can be problems with getting insurances, and also if there's a fire in that area and whatnot. I don't want to take up too much time because we want to hear all the great information Angie has. But remember, I don't have it on today, but wear badges, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you. You never know where the next deal is coming from. Have a wonderful and safe 4th of July. And let's have a great market. Let's get in there and take a piece of that market. Thank you.
Thank you, John. You know, also the brush clearing can be pretty expensive. I think you should talk to the seller or the buyer and make sure that they have the understanding of who's going to pay for it, when they're going to pay for it, or whether the buyer will take the responsibility of doing it after the cost of escrow. So these kind of things are very important. And John always suggests that you should have the report as soon as possible, even right after you open escrow.
Take it with you. Take it with you on the listing appointment. There's no charge, only if it closes escrow.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Nicole Menard from Fidelity National. Nicole, good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Can you believe we were saying earlier, it's almost month end today and tomorrow, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, halfway through the year. And it is a great time to prospect. As you know, we have the holiday coming up on Friday. So for those of you that are going to be out prospecting, don't worry, you have access to pull property information and farming information. And if you're not connected, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to get you set up. That way you can pull information at your fingertips from your mobile device or from your desktop, as well as be able to calculate seller net sheets and buyer estimated costs. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Thank you so much for your support. And I wish you a great month end. Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. I did leave my info in the chat as well. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Next, we have Kanita Sugars. Good morning, Kanita.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Kenyatta Sugars here with Home Guard Inspection Company. Congratulations to all the winners from last Friday. Peter you and Michelle do such a good job at celebration and recognition in your office, and it's really a good thing. Like everybody said, listen, if you don't have deals in your pipeline, maybe you're just not prospecting hard enough, because right now my business is the busiest it's ever been in the last couple of months. And I assume that's because it's summer, kids are out of school, it's a good time to move, to think about purchasing property, etc. So when you do get those inspections and you open up escrow, I hope that you will think of Home Guard with our great service offering of the buy a home inspection, get a second inspection for free. This is not a promotion. It is something that we offer. And currently, we're almost at the end of the month. I am about 4 inspection orders away from my goal. So if there's anybody on this call right now that's opening up an escrow today or tomorrow, send me a DM, send me a text message, and I will give you an additional discount if you choose to partner with Home Guard for those inspections. Lastly, I just want to close really quick with a review that we just got. This just in, a 5-star review. The agent said, Home Guard took very good care of my client and were thorough with all 4 inspections, and I received all of my reports the same day, including their new interactive summary, which moved the process along. Ryan and his team was very patient with my first-time home buyers, and they answered all questions and arrived on time. The inspection price was competitive, and I will certainly use them again. So great review. That was actually the agent's first time using us, so I was very happy that they had an amazing experience, and I hope to do the same for you. 626-627-6694. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanita. Thank you very much. Next, we have Unita Wu from HWA, the home warranty. Unita, good morning.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, all the team. You need a Woo from Home Warranty of America, the 13 months home warranty. We're here to help you for all your home warranty needs. If you guys have any upcoming closing for your home warranty, please reach out to me directly because there's a lot of stuff that need to be purchased sometime with the home warranty that we're not aware as the rep. There is additional pool that could be purchased, roof leak repair that could be purchased as well, and ADU. And a lot of people that they don't know as well is a rekey, right? So then if you guys have a closing, the first thing that you could do actually file the claim right away for your rekey. Because a lot of time, because the plumber comes in, the pool guy comes in, whatever, right, to do the work prior to close of escrow. And if you want to get that done, we don't need to have a payment right away. You could file the claim right away with the trade call fee, $75 still low. We're here to help you guys, and I know a lot of people mentioning about open houses. We do have door hangers or things like that, the material for open houses that we could be able to share with you as well. Let me know. We're here to help you. I do speak English, Chinese, Mandarin, Indonesian, and we're here to be able to win together. And thank you again for all your continued support. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. It was last week, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, I didn't say it last week, so I better say it this week because, it's every Father's Day. We have to be
belated
able to, you know what? I know that Mother's Day usually is more like popular because,
Yes.
mothers, we all, appreciate our mom too, but sometimes we forgot the fathers too. So gotta do both.
Okay, thank you. Oh, Unita, you mentioned that the wiki is free of charge?
It's basically it's included into your plan already for your upgrade plan. It is included, but there is a trade fee basically for that trade call fee, right? For the deductible. That's all that you pay for the $75.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Michelle, do we have any affiliation in the training room, please?
Yes. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Yolanda. How are you?
How are you? Hello, team. I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Yolanda Martinez at NSWFG National Title Company for all your title needs. I want to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July. And FYI, this Thursday, the West San Gabriel Board is doing their 4th of July celebration. It starts at 8:30, a half an hour earlier. They're serving breakfast, they're having food and games and a lot of fun. So again, mark your calendar this Thursday, July 2nd, the West San Gabriel's 4th of July celebration. Let's make it a productive day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Yolanda. Okay, I think that's all the affiliate. And now we are coming back to Angie Tang, who's our affiliate spotlight today. And Angie?
Hello.
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was sharing my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
No, not yet. Oh, now we do. Okay.
No?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I have a whole slideshow. This is usually an hour, so I'm just gonna pick and choose some slides that I think are more vital for today's presentation. We're going to talk about fraud and cybersecurity. I'm Angie Tang, First American Title. Been with First American for, I don't know, over a decade. A very, very, very long time. I prefer not to count. So here, this is going to be a rough agenda of what we're going to talk about. We're not going to have time to go through everything, but I just want to highlight a few things because, as you know, fraud is very prevalent. And as an industry leader, First American is always trying to find resources and ways to help individuals and clients to protect their assets. And the most important thing one will ever own is pretty much their home. So this is why it's very important to have a very good title insurance company helping you through the transaction and securing the transaction. So I'm not going to go through that one. So wire fraud, as you know, it's very prevalent. So some things that you might see are like, when they're gonna, here, let me jump to the few slides. So this is one that's very important because what they'll do is they're going to hack into accounts or they're going to use these spoof emails here, and it'll look like it's coming through First American or, an escrow company, and they'll just change a few letters, a few words, and then pretend to be you, and they'll just jump in the email and start having conversation with clients. So some of the conversations that, you'll see is they'll usually have something very urgent, like they'll say it's very urgent, or my attorney said that we have to change things, or they'll say, anything that's last minute is going to be a red flag. So that happens quite frequently with types of wire fraud. This is just one of the emails that we have that is just kind of like a timeline of what was happening during fraud. These are the wire fraud red flags. This one you should really highlight and remember because these are the things that happen most frequently when it comes to wire fraud. Something where they talk about the timing, the amounts verified. They want to change it to different accounts when it was previously a different account. They all of a sudden have a new authorized person that's going to be helping with the transaction, or they're wanting to wire from a different trust to a different trust account. Sometimes they have the words, urgent, secret, confidential. Those things are, red flag words to look at. So if you can take a picture of this, remember to use this because this is something that's, most commonly used for wire fraud. So in the event that wire fraud happens, what is it that you have to do? So we've kind of made it really simple. There's like a 7-step process here. If you want to take a picture of this, you may. But once you see that once you see that there's wire fraud, you want to change your password very quickly. Contact all the parties that are affected by the wire fraud. Then you start contacting all your financial institutions. Then you report it to the FTC, which there's a website down below. The 5th item is to report it to the FBI. There's a website link there before. And then you want to also obviously let your broker know, let Peter know this is happening. It's very important that you get him involved. And then you run an AV scan of those malware just to make sure you clean up your system and they didn't have any other hacking devices on your account. So that's the timeline for wire fraud. When it happens, is there any insurance that covers it? So Peter, I don't know if you want to chime in on this, your errors and omission insurance. I'm not sure if your insurance covers this. Usually it's not covered.
No, not covered.
Yeah, most of the time it's not covered. And title insurance, a lot of people think that, hey, well, why can't we file a claim with title because of wire fraud? Well, the file hasn't actually closed, so we haven't actually issued a policy. So once wire fraud happens, it's pretty much no escrow. Like you're not going to be able to close escrow unless they're able to find the money, and which usually takes a very long time and usually doesn't quite happen, unfortunately. So once wire fraud happens, it pretty much the clients are stuck. The whole escrow process is pretty much null and dead. It's unfortunate, but that's why we need to learn about wire fraud and what we can do to prevent wire fraud. There's another prevention way is using our Ignite RE tool, because using our Ignite RE tool, it's another layer of prevention. And with our system, you can upload all the documents that are secure documents like the SI, the statement of information, any loan documents, everything can be uploaded into our cloud through First American, and we can actually pull all the vital information from there for our file. So there isn't any extra, there's an extra barrier for the fraudsters to be able to gather that type of information and follow along as to what's happening in your escrow. So Ignite.re, if you don't have a portal, let me know. Ignite.re is a great tool where you can safeguard your transaction, but also be able to pull as much data as you want. You can pull HOA information. We're I think one of the only companies that can offer that. I'm not sure if the competition has that yet, but we were one of the first to have HOA information. You could get CC&Rs off of that. You get all the previous documents from there as well. So all the deeds you can get from Ignite.re. You can also do a lot of farming from there. So one quick thing is the cybersecurity. Passwords passwords are so easy to get now because of social engineering. So everything you put on your social media accounts can be tied into your password. So whatever you put out there, keep in mind that the fraudsters have easy access to this type of information. So these are some of the most commonly used passwords. And if you want, you can take a picture of this. And this is what I was talking about when it comes to social engineering. Whatever you put on social media, like sometimes you have nothing to do, or you're filling out a fun little thing on Facebook, and they ask you like, oh, what's your favorite dessert? What's your favorite ice cream flavor? You know, what's the best place that you like to visit? What's the first place you visited as a kid? These are all information that you're letting the fraudsters grant access to because it's social. It's to the public. And when anything is of the public for the public to view, fraudsters are also viewing it. So it's easy to get your passwords through your social media accounts. And Wi-Fis. Wi-Fis are like, you should never use somebody like a free Wi-Fi. The reason why is once you use that free Wi-Fi, the fraudsters, the hacksters, they can all jump into and pretty much look at everything you're doing on your computer. So try never to use Wi-Fi's. Free Wi-Fi places are a prime area for fraudsters to lurk and get access to all your accounts.
So, Angie, you
Yeah.
said that you never use unsecured Wi-Fi. So either in the airport or some
Oh,
place
airport
in the
for sure.
hotel,
No,
you never
airports
use
and
it.
hotels are like the worst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't ever get on the Wi-Fi's
oh, I
on
didn't
the
know that.
airplanes at the airports,
Oh,
and like very public places. Actually, if you can, refrain from getting unsecured like Wi-Fi's. It's just
oh,
so optimal for the fraudsters and the hacksters. That's where they can jump into your computer and like look through everything and browse and start pulling data and start impersonating, and before you know it, you'll lose your home without knowing
wow,
it.
that's
Yeah, it's
very
very,
serious. My
very
goodness, I didn't know
crazy.
that was so dangerous.
Yeah, I never use the free Wi-Fi's. If you don't have signal on your phone, then you should just wait till you have signal. So like especially sometimes when you're traveling and you're in a hotel, and I used to do this until I now I know better. But at a hotel, like you use a free Wi-Fi
Uh-huh.
and you say you wanted to check your bank account.
Oh,
Once you check your bank account, if there's a fraudster or a hacker, they can get access to your account.
wow.
And before you know it, your money is no longer there, or they get your passwords. So it's definitely not a good place to do anything you want to keep secure. Like maybe if you want to do Google Maps or something, you can use Wi-Fi. But just minimum, like use it at a minimum.
Mm. Interesting.
Um,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So when you have a fraudulent seller, these are some steps that you want to take when you have a fraudulent seller. You want to, usually, I mean, this is what the fraudsters do for their timeline. So the fraudster will identify the property, which one they want to target. They usually obviously target all free and clear properties. That's the easiest way for them. But I'll go through another slide. It will go into more detail on that. They start forging the documents. They contact the agents to list the property. This is where the agents have to do a lot of due diligence, which I'll cover in the next slide. Then they sell to a third party, or they sell to a bogus third party who then sells it to another third party without obviously title insurance. And sometimes they do have title insurance, and then maybe the insurance company misses it, and then it becomes a claim. So it's very important that everybody stays diligent whenever there's a transaction. Um, so what can you do as an agent? So when you're dealing with any transaction, you want to make sure you ask for two pieces of ID before you're going through the listing. That way you can double check the validity of who they are. Ask questions about the property, especially if it's in a trust or if there's somebody has passed away or if there's an LLC. You want to match the signatures from the ID to the deed. So how do you get the deed? Through Ignite RE. You can download the deeds, match the signatures, make sure it looks, right. Even though this is not usually something you guys do, and escrow will usually do this, or title, you want to catch it ahead of time before having to go to escrow, because then you would have spent a whole lot of time already helping them market the property. And once, you've lost the time, you've lost the time. I'd rather have you do it ahead of time so that you can verify this person on your own initially and then go through title and escrow as an extra second, third layers. Search the owner contacts information, check their phones, emails, Google it, kind of do a little bit quick check to make sure you're talking to the right person. And then, of course, use the vetted notaries through the title companies. So First American has a group of vetted notaries. We also have our RON notaries, which I'll talk about on another slide. Some things that First American does is the last bullet point. We do send an owner notification letter to the homeowner to verify whether or not they know that they're going through this transaction. Especially this happens to all like non-owner occupied transactions. And the letter gets mailed to the mailing address. And then the last thing that we've now implemented is that we have a designated title support specialist that calls to verify owner. So it's another added layer that First American is doing now, just to make sure we're making sure we, minimize the fraudsters, the impersonators.
So Angie, do you those free services
Yeah.
that you can call the owner and
Yes.
find out whether that's a proper owner or not?
Yeah. So once we have the order open through First American, that's the checks and balances that we do.
Yeah.
So we keep adding more and more to our, I guess, our system so that we can make sure we minimize as much fraud as possible, because the last thing we want to do is have to all of us go through, a
Yeah.
claim because we have a fraud
Yeah.
file.
That's good
Nobody wants to go
service.
through that because the money that you made
Yeah.
goes right back into litigation.
Yeah.
So it's not a, just because you close a transaction doesn't mean you still keep the cash and the money that you made on commissions. So it's a very sad thing. So now I can share with you some of the claim stories that First American has had. We just kind of picked a few because it's happening more and more often. Here, one of the borrowers, they took a mortgage for $900,000. And this usually happens when there's like two or more people, like usually like this story happened to be siblings, but there's more than one person on the title. So one of the siblings didn't want to sign for the property for the loan docs, and the other one did. So the brother ended up hiring somebody to impersonate the sister to sign for the loan to take money off of the home. So that happened, and then, luckily, the fraudster reached a private settlement with the insured lender, and then First American paid the remaining amount to the lender of the balance of the mortgage. So these are true life things that have happened. We do pay our claims. First American is very, very good. They have a very good reputation for paying claims. We don't like to kind of take the shortcuts when it comes to claims, like go to and go to court and try to like get a lesser amount to pay. I try to do what we need to do so that this gets taken care of as quickly as possible. So that's the first resolution that we did for this one claim. This is another one. I think I've talked about it before. This one happened to be my file, unfortunately. And, this woman had a free and clear property. The fraudster comes in, pretends to be her, takes out a hard money loan for 1.44. And once the transaction closed, oh, and by the way, it was hard money. And the second thing that was interesting is that they wanted to take 120% coverage. So what happens when they take 120% coverage is that we pay 120% of the claim. So we ended up eating up the 1.44 for this entire transaction. And now this resolution is still pending because it's still going through litigation. From what I've heard, because once a claim happens, I'm not too much involved. They give me little bits and pieces of what's happening, but they did say that they are thinking that the escrow and the realtor had something to do with this transaction, which is very interesting. So we hired the best attorneys to protect our client, and the woman who owned that home free and clear. I know that we've already paid off the deed of trust, and we reversed that deed of trust so that no longer is a part of her property. But this is real life scenario. Like this is why title insurance is so important. So we paid off the 1.44, hired, for this loan for 1.44, I think the title insurance was about $1,800. So the company lost 1.44 plus all the attorney fees and all the litigation costs that come with it after the fact. So title insurance is a very important aspect when it comes to getting, your home protected. This one is another interesting claim story. So this one pretty much he bought a house for 2 years, and then all of a sudden there is somebody else who impersonated him, bought the property, pretended to be the property owner, and took out a loan on that property. And once he took out the loan, obviously he didn't pay the mortgage. And so the property defaulted. And the homeowner was wondering, well, how is this possible if I've already, I'm paying my mortgage? How can my mortgage default? So he didn't realize that there was another owner, or not another owner, but a fraudulent person pretending to be the owner who took out that loan and now has fled the scene. So with this property, we retained the counsel on his behalf and we paid the legal fees, removed the mortgage, and kept the title under his name. So and transferred it back to him. So there's a lot of things that happen. This one is another claim story. Peter, do we have much time left? I want to kind of see where we're at.
Yeah, maybe another 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll skip out on this one. Well, actually, I'll talk about this one because it's really interesting, but I'll just quickly go over it. So this one is very interesting because they transferred title a few times. So you can see they bought it in Northern California, an uninsured deed. The third party sold the property to a new buyer. First American got an uninsured deed affidavit from the owner who still had been living in the property. But within a week of the property having been sold, the owner refused to turn the property over to the new buyer, and the new buyer had to file a claim. So the transaction closed, escrow closed, and the seller decided not to get out of the house. Can you imagine after all the contracts being signed and then they said, and the whole thing they went through and they got the money for selling the house and now he decides, I'm not moving. So this case is still pending. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy to me.
Wow.
So last but not least, some other things that First American is doing to mitigate all this type of fraudster stuff is that we have free title monitoring alerts. So every person that gets a title policy through First American Title, we will send them free title monitoring alerts and monitor their property for life until they sell that property. The second thing we have is bringing knowledge to everybody. So we have the First on Fraud podcast. You can scan the QR code and you can listen to the different podcasts that we offer and learn about what is happening in our industry. The more you learn about what's happening in our industry, the more you'll be able to see the red flags and be knowledgeable about what to do and what to look out for when it comes to fraudulent transactions. And then, of course, we have that remote online notary. So First American has their own remote online notary team. It's a different division from Title, but it is a First American company that does the remote online notaries for $15 a signature. So right now that we are in summer, everyone is traveling. They can sign remotely online in a different country. As long as they're a US citizen, they can take advantage of this offer that we offer for the $15 a signature. And this is just a way for us to, validate the owner through KBA questions. And we also have another system that we are part of, which is a third-party system called IntelliCheck, so that we can double check and actually not even double check. It's almost like triple check, if not quadruple check, that this is the correct owner and that they know what they're doing and that they're selling their property. So lastly, how to file a claim. So it is so easy to file a claim through First American. I didn't even know how easy it is until I actually looked into it. I knew it was easy before. This was like 10 years ago when I first started at First American, but they've made it even easier. Literally, all you have to do is even Google it, how to file a claim with First American, and it'll give you the step-by-step process of how to file a claim. So it's pretty easy. You just submit your claim by mail, fax, or email to the following address, and then it's done. You don't have to worry about anything. You add in the title, policy, or your order number, your address. We'll locate everything, and within, I think, 24 hours to maybe a little, maybe 24, 28 hours, something like that, you'll get a response by our First American Claims Department, and they'll kind of guide you as to what needs to be done from there. Very easy peasy stuff. Unfortunately, fraud is happening quite frequently. If you need any help getting an Ignite RE account or have more questions, please reach out to me. I'm here to help and secure the transactions. Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. It's very, very useful information. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
And I have to add that, it is important that you get a reputable, very reputable title insurance company, because it makes a lot of difference when when they have to do your title, they have the ability to do it, and also if something gets wrong, they have the resources and the expertise to correct it. And recently we had a case where the title insurance company just closed up the door, and then the deposit in the title insurance company was cheated to the state without the knowledge of the buyer. The buyer put the money in, and then the money was cheated to the state, and now it took a lot of time and energy to get it back from the unclaimed property, so from the controller's office, and it's just very, very troublesome. But anyway, it's important to have a reputable title insurance company like the First American Titles. Okay, any questions for Angie?
Peter,
Yeah.
I actually wanted to share one more quick story if I'm
Okay.
allowed to.
Go
So,
ahead.
because I'm going around, all the time, and I went to an escrow company. It was a larger escrow company, and I asked them, "Hey, how's the market going?" Obviously, right? We always ask about how the market is going. And then I asked, "Hey, have you seen any claims happening recently?" And the escrow's like, "Yeah, we actually have two claims right now going on." And he said, "You know what, Angie? I'll just simplify it. There was two claims. He only talked about one of them, but they both were with really smaller title companies, and they're having a hard time getting them to even reply to a claim.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. And so what the escrow did, because they were a larger company, the claim was for about 600 and some thousand. And the title company should have paid the claim like easily because it was a
Yeah.
claim.
Right.
Instead, the escrow says, you know what, since I don't want to drag this out, let's just split 50-50 on this claim. We'll pay 300 and you pay 300. Unfortunately, what the escrow did was they did this verbally and they didn't put anything in writing. They ended up paying the 300,000, and then the title company now it's crickets. They're not even responding.
Wow.
It's so
crazy.
bad, like so bad. Like it makes the industry look terrible. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing,
Yeah.
So it's just it's not worth it to pick a small title company. Just
You're so right. I totally agree with you. You have to have a reputable title insurance company to back you up.
yeah.
Okay, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Peter.
Yeah, thank you. Any more questions for Angie? Okay, if not, let's go on, move on. There are a few announcements that I have to make. There will be no lunch and learn this Wednesday, and no Friday training either because of the July 4th. And there will be no business meeting next week, next Monday. So because of July 4th, some of our agents are taking Monday off instead of Friday off. So there will be no business meeting next week. And for the CoStar membership, the corporate membership is going to end June 30th, which is tomorrow. And then if you want to continue with the CoStar, you have to arrange it with the CoStar on an individual membership, and it has to be done before July the 1st, which means that you have to respond to CoStar before tomorrow. Okay, so if you still want to be a CoStar member, you have to call up the Dennis Lee or Tom. Tom, I forgot his last name, for the CoStar. Anyway, any more questions? Any questions? If not, I would like to have Michelle present the sales and listings and the closed escrows. Michelle,
Okay,
go ahead.
all right. We have for new escrows 12909 Torch Street in Baldwin Park. Herman Sausalito is the selling agent. It's a residential for 870,000. 500 North Atlantic Boulevard, number 170, commercial lease. Shumei Cam's the listing agent. It was valued at $435,000, 168 South Monterey Street, number 205, Alhambra. Nina Shu is dual agent. It's a condo that sold for $628, 630 West Huntington Drive in Arcadia. That was a lease, and it's $31,200 value. Helen Lee represented both sides on that dual. As for new listings, 2063 South Atlantic Boulevard, number 2F in Monterey Park, Sharon Chow, and that is a commercial lease. $89,000 is the value. Amy Wang has a condo at 920 Granite Drive, number 104 in Pasadena. That's $848,000. Amy Wang has another Granite Drive unit, number 117, for sale at $1,080,000. Emilio Campos has a $2,900 a month residential lease at 783 Worcester Avenue in Pasadena. For closed escrows or leases that have closed, 500 North Atlantic Boulevard, number 131, commercial lease, Shumei Camels dual, valued at $282,000. 19745 Kalima Road, number 8. Shumei Cam was a listing agent. This is a commercial lease closed by an outside broker for $294,000. 16560 Wing Lane in La Puente. That is Liz Webb was a listing agent closed by an outside broker, residential, for $842,000. 500 West Bonita Avenue, number 24. This was a renewal for $11,796. Shumei Cam was dual on that commercial lease. 136 East Avenue 44 in Los Angeles. Juan Volente is the selling agent. This is an income property that closed at 1.550. 608 East Chestnut in San Gabriel. Amy Wang was a listing agent closed by outside broker residential for $1,108,000. And thank you all. That was a great week. Congratulations to everybody.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any new listings or the escrows that you want to add that I missed to mention? Anybody?
Good morning,
Laura.
Peter. This is
Yes.
Laura.
Laura,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I have a lease listing today. Gonna put on the market. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's in Arcadia, Golden West Avenue, and the square foot is 2,079, and very convenient location. Just 1 block to our previous Arcadia office, and the monthly rent asking for $4,000 per month. So that's my property.
Oh, good. That's a good area. Very good area.
Yeah, it's very good area. It's for lease. Yes, it's ready to
rent is-
move in.
Yeah, the rent is reasonable too for 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Or if you want to me to e-blast to the agents, just email to me. I'll do that for you. Okay, Laura?
Okay. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. And anybody else? Anyone that have new listings or anything to mention? Let the other people know. Okay, if not, I will go share my presentation today. And what happened to my? Oh yeah, okay. All right, and I would like to share with you. Okay. The clear cooperation policy. The reason I want to share that with you, I know that most of you know about the clear cooperation policy, but recently one of our agents got in trouble with it, and she was paying that $2,500 for the violation of this policy. So this is it's nothing to sneer about. That when the CLMLS is very serious about enforcing the clear cooperation policy. So I just want to kind of review it with you and refresh your memory. Okay. Let's see. So what is the clear cooperation policy? Basically, just that After you publicly market your property, you have 1 day, 24 hours to list it in the MLS. If you don't do that, you'll be dinged about 2,500 for violation. And this violation carries no warning. Okay, so they don't warn you ahead of time. Once you did that, that's done, and you cannot most of the time you cannot reverse it, and there's a very hefty penalty, 2,500. So you have to be very careful. And this clear cooperation policy has been effective since 2020, and it applies to residential property and also the 1 to 4 units, and also the vacant the residential lots for land or offer for sale. Now, well, you have to know what does 1 day mean. Okay, the 1 day starts, the clock starts at, after you put the yard sign, any signs on the property, the window flyers or printed marketing material that you give it to other people. And also when you put the property in the agent's website, such as the IDX, VOW, display, and social media posts. And also if your brokerage share the listing and the marketing with other franchise or listing sharing networks. And as soon as you open house or do a showings or any apps are available to the public, that means it is being marketed publicly. And then you are required to report it 1 day after you do such a thing. And also for email blast or digital ads aimed at consumers, anything, like the Facebook, and any social media, then it's deemed as the public marketing. The only exceptions that is that when you are promoting inside your brokerage, such as if you just share it with the agents in the high-end George Realty, then it is not considered as a public marketing. But other than that, as soon as you give it to outside people, then it's the public marketing. As you know, there are 3 ways to enter a listing. Well, the first one is the register, which means that you just let the MLS know and let your brokers know, and also the and the clients know, but you are not publicly marketing it, and you are not displaying in the MLS. But you do have to keep a form which is specifically for this purpose. You have to keep that form in the brokerage. You don't have to turn it into the CRMS, but you do have to put it as an internal file in your record system. And then you have a coming soon. The coming soon has you have 21 days to market your coming soon property. You are allowed the marketing as well as display in the MLS, but you are not allowed to show any showing anything, and including the open house or showing the property at all. And then after 21 days, it will automatically change into the active listing. And then the third form is the active listing, which everything is allowed, the public marketing, display in MLS, and showing the all allowed. And then it has to be shown as active unless it's sold or expired. And you also have to have a standard listing agreement with this kind of listing. So how do you do the coming soon? Why do you have to do this coming soon? Coming soon is for the properties that you are not quite ready for marketing, and you still have to do some remodeling or some preparation for the property before you show it to the public. And so marketing is allowed. You can tell that this property is coming soon, but you are not allowed to show the property at all. and it has 21 days maximum. So after the 21 days, you have to either to take it off the market or change it in active. And then you have to have a signed form, which is required to have the coming soon listing in the brokerage. And sometimes you don't want to show it to the public, and you just want to be kept inside your brokerage, and also you just want to tell the MLS you have such a kind of listing. You can do that as a register, which you only have to have the form file with your own brokerage, and you don't have to even show it or give the form to the CRMS. But if the CRMS demand it, you should have that register form available for them to do the audit. And so, what are the violations for the violations for the clear cooperation policy, which means that you did not enter the information in the CRMLS 1 day after you publicly market the property. The violation is very stiff. It's as I said, is 2,500 per violations, and there is no warning. Once you miss that, that's it. And then they will fine you $2,500 unless you have a very compelling reason. And it's difficult to appeal. It was in the CRMLS system because there's no warning, and when the X is done, and that's nothing you can correct about it. So try to be very, very careful. It's a very hefty penalty. And for the coming soon, if you don't have the form, signed form, then the violation is $750 flat fee and no warnings issued either. And for listed before the signing of the, in other words, if you list the property without a properly signed agreement, there will be $1,500 penalty. So all these penalties are pretty hefty. I don't think you should be you should ignore it at all. They're very serious because they have testers around, and trying to look at all those possible violations, and then when they catch it, they are determined to get the money from you. Okay. So how do you stay compliant? First of all, you have to know what triggers all the violations, and then the better way to do it is before you do anything else, you decide the status on the first day. Okay. On the day one, because either you have three way to list the property, right? Either register, coming soon, or active. So you have to decide which status you want to do with that property, and then you always have a paper works ready. You sign the paperwork and do it before you even market it, or even put in the MLS listings. And then you tell everybody in your team, and be prepared for the marketing. And if you are doing the coming soon, you track your 21-day clock. Okay, that's very important, because you miss that clock, and you suffer the violation. So any coming soon cannot be more than 21 days. Okay. And of course, when in doubt, you call the compliance, and the compliance are very helpful. All you have to do is call the number, and you will be able to talk to the live person on the line and ask them all kinds of questions. In order to provide to avoid those violations. So as you know, the CCP is well and executed and well enforced. The policy in the CRMS, and most of the agents supported, 70% supported the CCP, and the only complaint about it is that maybe it's too late, too short. It's only 1 day window. things should be at least 3 days. But before that, that is changed, and they still remain at 1 day. So 1 day is the maximum day that that you can have, not to put into the MLS after you publicly marketed the property. So if there is any question you about this websites and telephone number, you can write to or talk to, and make sure that you're good compliance with this clear cooperation policy. And okay, so that's all I have today. Any questions? I'm really right on time, huh? 11:01. So any questions? Well, if no question, I wish all to have a very nice, good July 4th. And as I said, there will be no meeting next week. And enjoy your holiday, okay?
Have a
See
great
you in 2
holiday,
weeks.
everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank
John.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Peter.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.
Hey, Michelle, so